All right, how you doing, everyone? This is Steve Larsen, and you're listening to Sales Funnel Radio.
Welcome to Sales Funnel Radio, where you'll learn marketing strategies to grow your online business using today's best internet sales funnels. And now, here's your host, Steve Larsen.
All right. Hey, I'm sorry, it's been about a week since I actually podcasted. I've been crazy busy. We had an event here. Russell and I actually, it's really cool. I got to speak on his stage, which is super cool. Get up and speak and teach. It was actually his inner circle. We were kind of testing an event. We were trying to see how it ran. We were trying to see, even before we do big things, we'll actually go to a test group, which I've been telling a lot of you guys to do lately. Before we actually go out and try and sell it, go through like a little test group, which is what I've been doing with my dad. With his, he's got a cool software that he wrote that helps you trade futures, and he wins I can't publicly announce or declare that he wins 80 to 85% of the time, but it might be near those ranges. Anyway, so it works though. That's what we do. We go take a little test group, and we did that here recently at the new office. And it was 3 days long. And like about 15 minutes before, we're walking around, Russell and I are kind of in the back, there's an event room where everyone can go and hang out. And we've got a spot for about 80 people. And Russell and I, and then on the other side, there's all these locked doors. You gotta have key cards, and we're all official now. We're kind of laughing like, crap, we're like a real business now, And we're on the other side of the building, and he and I are kind of hiding a little bit. We're like, whew, we got the jitters a little bit. All right, you ready for this? It's 3 days. Whew, we're getting stoked. And I was like, you got everything you need? He's like, yeah, I think so. Could you do X, Y, and Z for me? And I said, sure, And we're kind of going back and forth. And about 15 minutes before we walk out there, he goes, hey, will you introduce me every day? And I was like, crap, I've never done that. Yeah, okay. And I literally went to Google and I was like, how to introduce somebody on stage. You know what I mean? I was like, what's the main goal? What's the, and I was like, hey, what do you want to have happen? He's like, the biggest thing I want there to be higher energy than what they currently are, so that when I come in, I can pick them up from where they are and keep going. It's easier for me to match them if they're at the, at a higher level of energy than me walking on stage and they're all like low, with little slump shoulders and like, Anyway, I hope that makes sense. But he's like, would you introduce me? And I was like, okay, sure. So I went and I was like, hey, I got to tie it into a story somehow. Like, is there something I can tell about him? Like, what's something that's funny? And you got to be careful, you don't want to make too much, you don't want to make fun of your boss. But I was like, all right, man. Okay, I think I got it. And I got up on stage and I told this story. And I've actually told it on this podcast here before, so I actually probably won't. But at the end of it, what happened is this guy in the inner circle came up to me. What's up? I know you're probably listening to this. He's like, dude, I love your energy. It was so awesome to feel that. You got me so charged up for the day. I'm brand new here. You got me so energized. I'm so excited. He's like, will you send me the Voxers that you send to Russell? That was part of the story, is that every single morning I Vox Russell and I just go, woo, yeah, baby, woo, it's Monday, we get to build funnels to Turk, and I start yelling. I'm like, yeah, woo, who else do we get to do this with? Like, what other business do you get to do this with? Who else gets that excited at what they do? I don't know. This is a freaking cool industry that we're all in this together, and he's like, will you send all those things to me? And I said, sure. And, anyway, it's just really, really funny. So I'm actually going to play them for you right here. He said, hey, I would love to have these things as my alarm clock. So if you guys want this, you totally can. But literally what happens is every single day I Vox Russell just like pumped. And it's only like 3 seconds long on every single one of them, but that's all you need. And it's all about staying in state. And it's all about pre-framing your head to be able to handle what's about to happen, right? It's all about, anyway, super cool stuff. So while I was coming in today, I was like, hey, you know what? It'd be kind of funny is if I put those on my podcast. So here they are.
Woo! Monday, baby, yeah! It's Tuesday, baby, yeah! Woo! Get some! Woo! It's Wednesday, baby, the tank!
All right, how was that? You guys, I am a goofball at heart, and I don't care. And I think when people start caring too much, they get old and die. Anyway, hey, if you like that, cool. If not, whatever. It's something that I do to just it's just a little fun tradition I have with Russell. And one of the inner circle wanted it, and so I thought, hey, might as well put it on the podcast. So, hey, I learned something really valuable. And this is the reason I'm podcasting today. And I should say that I relearned it because I already have learned this before, and it was just, it hit home so hard. I learned this probably a little while ago. Russell gave me a course by Joe Polish. It's probably like 6 months ago now. And I went through and I started listening to it, and my gosh, it was so good. And I started going through it, and I was like, this is incredible. I'm loving this, and you guys are going to be knocking on my door asking for the name of the course. I cannot remember it. I'd have to look. I'd have to go find it. Anyway, so at this event, right, there was, in the future, I'm going to be teaching probably about half of the event. So I'll teach a few sessions, then Russell will get up and teach a few sessions. I'll get up and we'll kind of tag team back and forth. On this one, I put together the actual workbook for it. He did most of the teaching of it so we could see how, just kind of test it out. But there were a few parts he had me come up and teach on. And I'm holding the book right now. It's called the Funnel Hackathon. And for 3 days, we build your funnels. Or you do, but you come in and we tell you, okay, now here's the next thing to do, build it, right? Okay, now and we don't move on until you're done, right? Okay, now here's the next thing to build, go build it. All right, now here's where our heads are at when we do this. All right, now you do it, right? And it's hand holding the whole way through. And at the end of it, these guys were like, oh my gosh, that was incredible, right? It's so awesome. And these are concepts and principles that I've been kind of together. Russell and I have been going back and forth on, like, oh my gosh, think about this, think about this, think about this. And it's been really, really special to do that with him. And as he puts his new book together. And what was interesting is I get to my sections, and in between each session, we have these little workshops where people execute what we were just teaching, and we do not move on until they have what what we were just telling them to do, which was really helpful for them, to keep them accountable like that. Well, there were several guys. I mean, I've been studying this stuff forever with him, right? I've actually been putting it into place with Russell's funnels. I've been doing this stuff, right? And what was fascinating to me is to have, some of these guys in the inner circle are like, some of them are making like $100 million. An obscene amount of money, right? Huge amounts of money. And you guys know my goals. You guys know that I'm, as of like last year, I'm making $1,000 a week, and I'm like, yeah, that's awesome, and you guys are following my story, of how I've been pulling this thing off, and that's been great. It's been a whole lot of fun. But what was making me laugh is the stuff that people were, like the questions that people were asking me. I was like, how is it that you don't know this and you're making that much money? How is it that you are making $100 million and I'm freaking out over $1,000 a week, and I soon will be making $30,000 a month, right? That's my goal for this year, and I think I can do it. I'm already on my way. I'm actually, just so you guys know, a little accountability on the whole thing. Like, I'm already at about $2,000 a week now, and it's starting to. Anyway, it's been fun. I still have no ads going. I should probably do that. You guys are gonna laugh at me when I say that, but it's just another thing to do, and there's a lot of crap going on. Anyway, this is what I'm not gonna lie, I started getting down on myself. Like, some of these guys are like, how do I do this? I'm like, it's because of this theory, or it's because you put these together, or it's because you do this. Like, how do you not know this? How do I know this? How is it that it's like, man, is that my unique ability? Is that what I'm supposed to be contributing to this world? Like, what the heck? How come? Anyway, it really, it didn't make me mad, but I was like, crap, like, it kind of sucks, How is it that I'm able to teach this stuff, and where's my $100 million? You know what I mean? And please know, I don't feel like I'm a selfish individual. I believe in giving and giving and giving and giving. And that's why I have so many things built for you that I just, on my site, just give away for free, right? These are all the things that were kind of starting to go through my head. And some lines from Joe Polish's class started to run through my head. I'm bringing it full circle now. And anyway, very fascinating. In there, he teaches that there is no relationship between being good and getting paid. So let that sink in a little bit. There's no relationship between being good and getting paid. You know that those books like why A students work for C students, right? Those students are good, but that's not how you get paid. Isn't that interesting? But a lot of entrepreneurs seem to think that, and a lot of us seem to think that in general. And I had that hit home right between the eyes again, right? I mean, we all. I was telling my dad this, and I was like, "Look, it's so funny when you eat humble pie, you don't just have a slice. The whole pie gets thrown in your face. That's how humble pie works, And I was like, crap. Ugh, all right. Huge lesson again, but there is no relationship between being good and getting paid. However, there is a huge relationship between being good at marketing and getting paid. Isn't that funny? And I was like, I'm teaching marketing principles to these guys. I know it's not a know-how about marketing in my situation. It's more that I don't really have a product. Like I've got like a product that I don't drive traffic to, right? And that's what I've been making that money from. Like, man, I need to make a product. Why don't I have my own product yet? And just think about this. So he's saying there's no relationship between being good and getting paid, and there's a huge one between being good at marketing and getting paid, right? And he said, what's the difference between sales and marketing? Right? Sales is what happens face to face. Sales is what happens when you're in front of an individual or when you're on the phone with them. Marketing, though, is what gets them to your face. Marketing is what gets them to turn their path, right? Everyone's in motion, and all you do is you're turning their motion, and it's bringing them straight to you. And the sales is what happens at that point. But until then, sales and marketing is not the same thing, right? Right? There are some businesses that survive because they have a good product, but they're a terrible business, right? Products and businesses are not the same thing, right? But the people think that, just like funnels and business models are not the same thing, right? That's why I don't build funnels for brand new people, right? Because they haven't proven their business. A funnel is not the business, but sometimes people think they will, or that they are, right? Anyway, I'm not trying to get sidetracked, but that really hit me home between the eyes again, and I was like, crap, like, massive humble pie again. Very, very frustrating for me to go through and actually relearn that. So I'm actually, I think I'm gonna go build a product, and I've got an idea on what it is, and I'm gonna start pushing it forward again. And what's funny is it's already in my plan too. Anyways, just we've been so busy with getting ready for this event that we just had, then actually doing the event, and then we got Funnel Hacking Live. Woo! That's in like a week. My life changed last time I went to the last Funnel Hacking Live. I had no money. I'll tell you guys that story another time, but the way I got there and how it all happened is really interesting, and how I got sitting next to Russell is very interesting, and what qualified me to sit next to Russell was very interesting, and I'll have to go through that sometime. But anyway, guys, all I want to do is point that back home to you guys and help you realize that it's good to be good. It's good to be awesome, but there's a lot of crappy products that get a lot of money, right? There's no, think about it, there's no relationship between being good and getting paid. Huge one between being good at marketing and getting paid. I'm saying that as many times as I can so that it can push into your head, like, it's more about how you market the stuff than it is about, and it's been funny too, as I build funnels, like, there's been a few funnels we've built. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. Whatever. So Marcus Lemonis, right? I built a lot of funnels for his team after Russell was on his TV show, right? And he's like, hey, why don't you build a funnel for this company? Why don't you build a funnel for this company? I was like, sweet. So I built like 5 funnels for this guy. And Marcus is the man. Oh my gosh, he is so awesome. I have so much respect for that guy and what he's done. The problem that had happened is that their guys didn't have the same epiphany that Marcus did. And so they didn't know what we were doing. And at the end of it, we built these amazing funnels, totally immaculate. They looked fantastic. I mean, they were some of the best looking funnels I have ever created. And it was painful. It was rough because I mean, Russell had a call with him, and he's like, man, I feel like we built you guys Ferraris. We gave you the keys, and they're just sitting in your driveways. You never even touched them before, you know? And it's not because there's ingratitude from Marcus's side. It's because his team has, the actual owners of the businesses, they didn't have the same epiphany. Like, what the heck am I supposed to do with this, you know? I mean, there's a lot of education behind what a funnel actually is. So that's where you have to be good at stuff, right? But you can go too far by thinking, hey, it's all about the funnel, it's all about the funnel, it's all about the funnel, right? There's marketing that happens too. It's not about just making pages look good. You know what I mean? That's what happened. Anyway, I've had a few of you guys ask that. That's why I'm telling that story. But anyway, I should end this before I continue to ramble. But I just wanted you guys to know that. Anyway. Get out there and make sweet products. Make sure they're good. Make sure that they deliver. But understand that it's ultimately not the thing that gets you paid. It's how well you market it. Just like you always hear those guys like, I invented this cool thing, but I don't know how to sell it, so it just sits on my shelf. You know, I invented the cure for cancer, but it just sits on my shelf. Like, what? Oh my gosh. Anyway. Hey guys, have a good one. Super excited to see you guys here at Funnel Hacking Live. Please reach out to me. I've had a lot of you guys ask if you can take me out to lunch, and I do appreciate that, but there's absolutely no way that I'll have time to do that. Well, I mean, I'm there to help throw an event. You know, I am an employee of ClickFunnels still, you know what I mean? So anyways, guys, talk to you later. Really excited, and hey, go crush it, all right?
Thanks for listening to Sales Funnel Radio. Please remember to subscribe and leave feedback. Want to get one of today's best internet sales funnel for free? Go to salesfunnelbroker.com/free funnels to download your pre-built sales funnel today.